Linkin Park is my arch nemesis when it comes to music, and today I fear it is the day of reckoning in which I must face the facts. Is Linkin Park actually banger, and I'm too obtuse to know? Is this pimple too big, or is your face too smooth? Is my channel truly banger, or are you just not subscribed? Is this Santa hat too festive, or is it just Christmas? That's enough, no more jokes. Alright, the highly anticipated Linkin Park hybrid theory is finally here for you guys, and I'm gonna listen to it after years and years of me saying, I don't like Linkin Park. I think Numb is overused. I think In the End is annoying. I don't like Chester Bennington's vocals. Well, I think we're going to find out once and for all if I truly just don't like Linkin Park or if I just don't like their hits. We're going to start with their first song on Hybrid Theory, Paper Cut. No more beating around the bush anymore. Okay, I feel like these are just riffs that I've heard on Korn. People have said that this album broke the mold, but this really just feels like it fits in the mold that many bands before had already created. Okay, I like that chorus. Oh, that's a bridge though, isn't it? Okay, I like the bridge. That's a good bridge. Linkin Park 1, Newt 0. Oh, transition. Alright. Okay, in the defense of consumerism when it comes to this album for being in the year 2000 must have been absolutely groundbreaking when it came out. And I can see that, I can respect that. Like, I don't think this aged too well at all. Like, you can hear, like, the early 2000s in it. Okay, that was strong. I like the riff. The transitions were seamless, especially the transition from song to song. Again, you know, this did create the mold for what would become generic, and I don't feel like it aged with that generic too well, because it kind of just sounds like it copied itself. That makes any sense. Alright, next song is With You. Okay, I like the industrial elements to this album. The industrial is done well. Aside from parts like that cut towards the end with that turntable solo part really just sounded like so out of place. The best way I can describe that part, it sounds like if a 2020 record came out and tried to sound like the early 2000s. Like, that's probably the best way I can put it. Next track, Points of Authority. These choruses sound the exact same every time. It's, you know, sometimes the verses are rapped a little bit and sometimes they're not, and they're kind of just a little bit talk sung. And then you get the melodic vocals from Chester Bennington, which is kind of like just like a one-liner said over and over again, and then like some lyrics in between those one-liners. When it comes to the meaning of the lyrics, they're alright, but like when it comes to how it sounds, it really just like sounds the same every time. When it comes to the instruments, I really like the industrial elements of it. The riff was absolutely banging. You saw I had my head bopping almost the whole time, even though the vocals really just weren't doing that for me. Don't really got much else to say. I'd say I probably like that track about as much as I like all the rest of them, which is not that much. Alright, Crawling. I'm gonna get minus points from the comments for this one, I think, because I've already heard this one before. That felt a little bit longer than it was, but I actually really enjoyed that chorus. It kind of did sound the same, but, you know, like, I don't care. I liked it. Now let's let this next track wind away and undo all of my positivity.
broken trust. The lessons that you taught. You point the finger at me again. I wanna run away, wanna know the truth instead of wondering why.
Okay, in the chorus, there were a couple notes that Chester was hitting, which I actually was a big fan of. Because, like, whenever you're listening to a chorus and they're singing and you're listening to it the first time, you can kind of predict the chords that they're going to use and the notes that the vocalist is going to hit. And I couldn't that time. Like, I actually got something from that chorus when it comes to the sound, of course. Lyrics, not so much, kind of more of the same. But it did sound really good, so I'll give it that. Okay, I would probably say that's my favorite track. It isn't stray too far from what we've already heard before, but like as I said before, I like the notes that were being hit. That riff was great. Wish it was a bit longer and I wish I used it a bit more. You know what I mean? It's not really exceptional compared to like what I've heard. Like if I wanted to listen to this kind of thing, I'll just boot up Follow the Leader by Korn. And I don't even really like that album as much as I could do. Alright, next song, By Myself. I like the riff. What I can pretty much say about any of these songs, the riffs are good. I like the instruments. Not much else to say really. Alright, now the song that I've been afraid of in the end by Linkin Park on Hybrid Theory. This is what you all came here for. Bada boom.
I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all felt like you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property. Time when I tried so hard and got so far.
From the last time I've listened to this song, like, I never really got anything out of it, but, like, that felt like a really genuine performance. Like, I got chills. Wow. Far out. Well, I was not expecting that. That felt, like, really, like, it had, like, a lot of emotional value to it. It's more than I expected. Alright, Linkin Park 2, Newt Zero. I was wrong that time. This song is probably better than I remember it. I don't like the piano though. Alright, next song, A Place for My Head. That chord progression feels a bit familiar.
I watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light from the sun. Step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. You try to take the best of me. Go away, best of me. Go away! You try to take the best of me. Running the place to beat your greed. From the top!
Alright, okay, I didn't even start that song and that transition was wild. I did like the breakdown. That breakdown was, had quite a bit of, power to it, which was lacking in this album, in my opinion. I'm glad that I got something from it. But yeah, it's probably about it for this song. It's probably just more of the same. Alright, next we got Forgotten by Linkin Park.
From the top to the bottom, on the top I step there. The memory won't escape me. Why should I care? There's a perk again. From the top to the bottom, on the top I stop. In the memory you'll find me. The memory now is like the picture was then. When the paper's crumpled up, it can't be telling you that I see it right through you. Now you got me caught.
I like the lyrics on the chorus, actually. Not that bad. More of the same. Alright, the least played song on Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, Cure for the Itch.
Folks, we have a very special guest for you tonight.
Much like the title likes to suggest, I would say that does scratch the itch that I've been left untickled since the entire duration of this album. But if I really wanted to listen to something like that, I'd listen to Segway 1 by Incubus. Like, if you've heard that before, you know exactly what I mean. Alright, final track, Pushing Me Away. Alright, yeah, no, that song was not anything special. What I do want to say is that I can finally say that I listened to a Linkin Park song and that I've given it a shot. Yeah, this is about what I was expecting. I mean, aside from like one or two songs here or there, I mean, the track Cure for the Itch was wildly unexpected. Hot take, by the way, Cure for the Itch should have been halfway into the album because, like, I feel like I could have used that break at like the second track in, but like, put it halfway. You know, just so we've got a little bit of a breather, interlude track kind of thing, kind of action going on. Now, when it comes to the album itself, the lyrics feel a little bit more like they're romanticizing the idea of being depressed. Don't get me wrong, you know, you got the whole comforting to those who need the affirmation for their feelings because they don't feel like they're understood or that they're left out or that they're the only one. Don't feel it offers nearly as much as some other bands and songs before that we've gotten. If I wanted to listen to songs that, like, made me feel worse about my own self-destructiveness, I would listen to like In Utero or like Fade to Black or something. But I suppose when it comes to like the actual like real bones of the music, I really just felt myself waiting for each song to end despite the really short run times. 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes sometimes, you know. Short songs, but they still feel like really long and drawn out. They follow like too much of a structure where you can like predict every move that the song makes, so you're kind of just like waiting for each part to come, and because you're waiting for that part to come, it just feels so much longer. I don't really have much else to add, really. Like, this is probably about what I expected for Linkin Park. If I were to point out favorite tracks, I'm gonna say Crawling, but only the chorus, if that counts. Runaway was interesting. I think that was the song where the notes really resonated with me. Cure for the Itch was probably okay, just don't keep your mouse off the dislike button, okay? Just hear me out. Alright, Cure for the Itch. I liked that one more than basically every track on this album because I didn't expect it, alright? And it was interesting for more than half of the runtime of the song. And finally, you know, in the end, I think that's pretty much everyone's favorite track of this album, well, most people's favorite track of this album. I can kind of see why. It's really, really, really poppy, if that makes sense. Yeah, I felt like it was delivered with purpose. But yeah, that was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. Don't go with me. Subscribe if you haven't gone with me yet. And I'll catch you guys on the next album. Later.